Hey, gifted crafters, welcome to our Saturday CrafterNoon. Thank you so much for joining today. We see a lot of people out there, so welcome. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and I hold these weekly live sessions to talk about all things crafting. We touch upon things like sewing, knitting, crocheting, embroidery, so much more. So if you're into crafting and these are some of the things that you like to talk about, then you're certainly in the right place. So please go ahead and jump into the chat. Say hello to a couple of friends. We like to share tips, tricks, and ideas with everyone. And so if you're someone who maybe has an Etsy shop, or maybe you have a craft fair coming up and you're thinking of selling some things, this is a great channel where we like to share these ideas, and we'd like to throw out different things that will help you become more successful. So let's just say hello to all our friends out there. I see quite a few people. I have Amy out there. Hey, how are you? I've got Kathy, aka Crazy Knitting Nada. Just still love that name. I got Crafting with Robin. I've got Donna Phillips. I've got Gail. I've got Jackie, Judy, 1 Minute Tips, Robin's Quilt Basket, and Vishal. Thank you guys all so much for joining. I really appreciate you taking the time out. So please just jump into the chat, have some fun, and I've got a few things to show you. So for those of you who have tuned in from before, so there's a lot of things going on in my life. So we've got some crazy stuff. My dad is in the hospital. We've been really running around and kind of going all over the place. So time has really been short for me. So getting into the craft room has really been a challenge, but I still have been able to kind of maintain and do a couple of things, and I got quite a number of things to show you today. So we'll just jump right to it. But before we do that, let's take a look at some of the holidays that we've got out there. So today, if you haven't seen it already, I think Judy mentioned it in the chat. It is National Scrapbook Day. So for those scrapbookers out there, this is the day to just kind of relax and put that scrapbook together. It is also National Nurses Day, so I'll definitely be appreciative to all the nurses and practitioners that are out there, because I truly appreciate them taking care of my dad when I'm not able to be in the hospital. And it's also National Fitness Day. So take a walk, you know, try to keep yourself fit, because it is certainly very important. And, you know, you got to do something for yourself every once in a while. So for today, we've got so many things to cover, but if you didn't tune in last week was live number 40. Today is live number 41. And last week we covered rope baskets, and we had a lot of fun putting those together. And as you can see here on my table, I've got some of the rope baskets that we were looking at and did, and I'm using some of them. So I've got some sewing clips that I've kind of threw together and put in the basket, because I'm constantly using those. So this was, you know, a really quick little item that I can definitely use, and it's really, really helpful. We've also got a larger one where I just kind of put some miscellaneous little knickknacks. We also made coasters. If you recall, we had one, it's a robin, right? So it's like, it's not a robin, it's a cardinal. I'm sorry. I keep getting these two birds mixed up. It is a cardinal. I said robin last time, but it is a cardinal. But this, you got this nice little embroidery that you can put on your roast basket once you've sewn it together. And then we have a lighter kind of embroidery on here that you can also put. And we've talked about like different finishes that you can do, looping it in to have a nice little finish on the end, or you can just kind of leave it and have that little bit of a fray, or if you have some fray check, you can put it out there. But definitely, you know, all kinds of embroidery items that you can put on these crafts. Again, you know, it is a cardinal, not a robin, but there's just so many robins out there that, you know, you guys got me into saying robins, but it is a cardinal. Alrighty. So this was a little project that I was able to do last week. So, you know, if you didn't catch that live, just go ahead and watch that one. This week, I've got a few things to show you, but what I want to really focus on is price comparisons, because there are so many items that you can get out there. And sometimes the quality really is important in terms of getting it in a specific brand that you believe is really truly better, or sometimes it really doesn't matter the brand. And so you see multiple items with really pricing that kind of varies and just yo-yos up and down. And you're really not quite sure, is it really worth it or not? So let's take a look at some of those items today. And let's talk about those, because we've got a lot of stuff in our crafts rooms, right? Over time, you really start to just continue to get things, whether it's fabric or yarn, you know, or even the machines themselves. You got the sewing machines, the knitting machines, you know, all of these items cost money. And so you end up buying these little tools and things, something as simple as a sewing clip, right? You'll get these little tools because they're here to help you to make the projects. So what I want to look at is some of the tools and some of the items that you can get. Let's do some price comparisons and let's see, are they really worth it or not? So I'm just going to jump in here. I see a couple of people chatting away. I see Donna Phillips says, love your rope bowls and coasters. I kind of like the snap trays that I created with my embroidery machine using vinyl easy cleaning. Awesome, Donna. Thanks. Well, thanks for the compliment on the rope bowls. You know, I actually went to Hobby Lobby and I did see it was a pretty sized rope bowl, but it wasn't so much round. It was more like a oblong shape, and it had the handles that we talked about. And they wanted like $20 something for it. I couldn't believe it because we were just talking about rope bowls last week. So it was amazing that, you know, you can buy them. And this was like in Hobby Lobby that I saw. And all they did was basically make the rope bowl. And then it looks like they took a piece of vinyl and maybe from the Cricut and put like a dog bone on it. So it was like a little rope basket where you can put like your doggy toys, like if you have a little dog, right? So it was pretty cute, but it was really pricey. And I know that since I already got this massive, and I'll show it to you again, I've got this massive amount of rope. I can definitely make quite a number of those for much less than what they were asking for. So, you know, these are just one of the many ropes that you can get, and I can make so many projects with this. So if you are someone who sells, once you start this, you're going to see how easy it is to make. There's just so many things you can make and sell with these things. So definitely a great buy. We also looked at some other colors that I have back here. So if you haven't seen that video, just go ahead and go back because you can definitely see all the different techniques and things that we talked about. So as you can see here, and I'm going to see if I can pull it out without knocking everything over. Let's see. I've got my sewing machine here. And we talked about this last week, and I've kind of got one that's in the making here. Let me see if I can angle it so you can see it a little better. So you can see here, I started another rope bowl, and let me see if you can see that. I think you can. So you can see here that I'm still kind of in the making. I'm making this one into a placemat. So for the placemat, I do want it to be a little bit wider, so I'm continuing to sew along. But like we talked about on the stitch, you know, you want to pick this zigzag stitch, and you want to make sure that your current project is kind of meeting the actual rope. So what you want to make sure that you're doing is the project itself, and I'll kind of just wing it up here. Let's say that this was the rope bowl, and then here's the actual rope. You want to make sure that when you are stitching this, you're going to be using something like a zigzag stitch. So you want to make sure that you're capturing the actual rope and connecting it to the project itself. So you want this zigzag motion to happen. And that zigzag motion is going to capture the rope and kind of squeeze the two together. And that's what would pretty much make it solid, right? So as you continue to make this project bigger and bigger, you know, it will continue to be combined together to give it that stability so that you can make this rope ball. So that's just something, you know, I haven't finished this one. I was kind of in the middle of it, but like I said, I've been in and out with my dad being in the hospital, so I haven't really been able to finish it or kind of get into this room. So let's talk about a couple other things that I really want to get to. So let me just move this over. Okay. No, sorry about that. Okay. So that's a little bit about the zigzag stitch. So let's get to a couple things that I want to show you. So one of the things that was really exciting this week that I've gotten, if you guys can recall, I purchased the Sentro knitting machine. And I've done multiple videos and projects on this, and we've talked about that. It's a very simple machine. For those of you who are not too familiar with knitting, you know, you can pretty much take wasted yarn or number 4 medium weight yarn. Works really well with this machine. And you can make all kinds of projects with this, from hats, scarves, and all kinds of other items. And I've shared multiple videos on that as well. Now, what you can do now is when you purchase these machines, you know, sometimes the parts go bad. Sometimes, you know, they're not enough. Maybe you want multiple machines. So one of the things that we found, and if you're a part of our Facebook group, you would have seen it. We've posted some coupons that you could use because Temu had a little sale on these little machines. And I was able to snag 2 of them. So I just want to show you those. Let me just grab this. So one thing about Temu is, you know, their packaging is really not the best. They do put everything in these little baggy things that really do not protect the boxes as much. And excuse the noise. Here we go. Here's one, and you can see the box is kind of crushed a little bit. It's not in like the best type of a gifting type of package, because it did get a little, you know, squished, I guess, on the route here. But that's okay. We really just care about what's inside, right? So that's what's really important. So this one was the 40 Sentro knitting machine. And I can tell you, for price comparisons, let's see if we can get some of that. Oop, got the wrong card here. Sorry. So we've got, for price comparison, the 40 Sentro knitting machine was $50 in Amazon. That's the average price, more or less. And we got it for $23. Isn't this amazing? Like literally almost half the price. And you know what, guys? Same exact box, doesn't look any different. And I'm just gonna see if I can get this open just to show you guys, is there really a difference? So let's get this out. Okay. Alrighty, see quite a number of things in here. So got an empty box now. I do see the instructions. We've got some little colored instructions with pictures on it. Couple little extra thingies. Here's the little legs with the little screws and the suction cups that come with it. Looks like we have 3 different yarns. So a little bit of waste yarn that they start you off with. And I'm going to flip this over. And this is the actual machine itself without the legs put on, which we'll do later. But you can see here, just looking at it right offhand, they both say Sentro on here. I really don't see much of a difference. I really don't. Handle looks exactly the same. Let's see. I'm just going to angle it here. Yep. Seems to turn. No issues. We've got the tubular and the panel setting. That's exactly the same. Quite honestly, I really don't see anything different. Now, this did come looks like with some knitting needles. This is a circular knitting needle. Now my Sentro did not come with one, but this one did. So that's kind of a little bonus, actually. I really like that. And so, you know, I've got the yarn. I remember my Sentro did come with yarn as well. And it has the legs. It also has, I can see here, it's got the crochet needle and a tapestry needle on here. So looks like the same exact items come in the machine. So was it worth it? Absolutely. But definitely I would take advantage of the coupons that we put out there. And I have the link below for you guys if you're interested in purchasing it. It does, you get a 30% off coupon, and there's one if you're a new customer. I mean, it's a really, really great deal. And just looking at the quality of it, it's really the same. There's really not much of a difference. Off the top, I can tell you the only difference that I'm seeing, and let's see if you guys can notice this, is my Sentro on the top is squared over here, where this Sentro is just rounded. But it really doesn't matter. I really don't care that it's squared or rounded here. Now, the 40 machine, I don't see the counter on here. So that could be a little bit of a drawback. But I don't know, since this is the 40-inch needle machine, it could be that it just doesn't come with it. So that's could be why I don't see it on here. But let's take a look at the 48-inch needle machine, because I did snag that one as well. So let me see if I can kind of put this back together a little bit. Let's see. I don't think I'll be able to put this together quickly, but I'm going to try to slide this into the box so I can show you the other one. Let me get this out of the way. Pardon all the noise, guys. But quite honestly, not a bad deal. And I do love the fact that you get this little circular knitting needle. That's pretty neat. Okay. Okay, so this is the 48. Bigger box. Kind of the same thing, a little bit crushed here. So if you're like gifting this to someone, you know, the box is a little crushed. That's not so nice, but looks like to me the exact same thing. So let me go ahead and open this one, and let's do a direct comparison to the one that I already have. Now, there we go. Okay. Getting it out of the box is a challenge here. Okay, so same thing here, comes with the instructions. It also does have the feet with the suction cups and these small little screws. I do see the tapestry needle as well as the crochet hook in here as well. This one does come with four little snags of yarn. Not bad. Now this one, interesting, this one does not have that rounded top. This one is actually squared. So this one does look very much like the one that I already have. And it does have a counter. So it could be that the 40-inch does not come with the counter. So now let's just put these side by side. And let's see if I can move these over. I'm going to put them up side by side here. Now, granted, I don't have the feet on it, but counter looks exactly the same. The top looks the same. Handle is the same. Let's see. I do have the tubular and panel setting, and I do have the tension guide on mines. And I'll have to look in the bag to see if it has it as well. But as you can see here, they look exactly the same. And the price point on this one, and Temu for the 48 needle, we got it for $35.70 versus what you could see it out there in Amazon for $51. So big difference. So 48 needle machine in Amazon, average price $51. Temu $35.70 if you use those coupons. For the 40-inch, $33 average price in Amazon versus Temu $23 after using the coupons. So that's a pretty good savings there. You can definitely, you know, see the difference in price. Now, in terms of the quality, I really don't see much of a difference. I see the same pins. I see everything the same. Not much of a difference at all. So if you're interested in trying out the knitting machine, these will definitely be a great price point to go out and check it out. And if you're a brand new customer to Temu, you get that big coupon, and you can get it much cheaper. So I think it's a great deal in terms of, you know, getting this going. So there's so much more I want to show you guys. Let me try to put this kind of back in here. It's kind of the one thing I wasn't sure about is, you know, when you're doing the live and you want to kind of get these together, it's kind of like, oh, you got to deal with the boxes. But I did really just want to show you guys exactly how it came out of the box. So this is how you would receive it as well. But honestly, I'm pretty happy with the purchase from Temu. You know, I think this is a steal. I mean, you can get multiple. Now, why did I get multiple ones of these? Well, this was my hubby who did this. He got the same 48-inch machine, 48 pin machine, because he wants to soup it up. So we want to do like a super Sentro. So he likes to tinker things. You know, he likes to tinker on things all the time and do like crazy things. And I was just kind of like, you're not touching my Sentro, and you're certainly not touching my Addy. Because, you know, there's certain things you just don't touch in my craft room. So this was one of those things. So when he saw this, he went ahead and he bought it because he said this is his machine. So that's fine. He can have the his and hers version of the machines, but he wants to try to soup this up. So let's see on his little spare time, I'm going to see how he soups this up and gets this to be better than what we have in our current machine. So let's see what he comes up with. That's the little challenge we have out for him. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on what he comes up with on this. So let me try to stick this back in the box too. Now, the only bad thing about these boxes is they really don't hold well in the shipping. Donna says you need an elf helper to hand off and finish items too. Yes, I sure do. Need the little helper here. But we'll just keep that for now because I want to move on. There's so many things I want to show you. See if I can get this down without knocking anything over. Alrighty, not too bad. Alright, so that was two pretty big items that I was able to get on here onto the show because I really wanted to share those with two price points with you. And that's certainly an item that I think, you know, quality is not really suffering over the price. I see the machine, it looks the exact same. I really don't see much of a difference on here. The 40 pin machine doesn't have the counter, but I think that the 40 pin machine, if I remember right, doesn't have it at all, no matter where you buy it from. The 48 pin machines do have the counters. The Temu one did as well. So we'll test it out, and I'll do some little projects on here to look at the quality of how they actually knit. But so as far as I can see right now, these machines really look exactly the same, and the price points are a big difference. So, you know, you may want to check it out. You know, just use the coupons. That's what they're there for. Don't do it without it. Alrighty. So a couple of other things that we want to look at, and this was something else that I was able to get. Let me see if I can move this one out of the way here. Get down there. Okay, so let's take a look at some thread. So I did purchase some thread from Temu as well. And prior to that, I did purchase some thread from Amazon as well. And I want to kind of it's not exactly a one-for-one comparison, but I wanted to see what really the difference was. So this is the thread that I got from Temu. So I'm going to go ahead and open that one up. I took it out of the bag already. It is in a little bag here. So these, they came multiple colors in the box. So let me just see if I can have a little bit of more information I can give you on those. So this thread is a 12-piece thread. Came in multiple colors. It's got 1,000 meters, or more or less about 1,000 yards of thread in each spool. And it's 12, it comes 12 in a pack. Now, I paid $8.40 for all 12 of these. So that comes out to about 7 cents each. Now, let's take a look at some of these. I mean, I wanted to do the 12 pack because I wanted to have multiple colors. And quite honestly, not too bad in terms of the quality. You know, I'm looking at the threads and they really don't look too bad. They are quilting cotton. I love the colors. Now, I'll truly be able to test it out when I actually go to use it in the machines, but they do look pretty good. They don't look old or frayed or any of that stuff. So let me just show you one here. Now, let me show you one that's kind of bright so you could really see it. You can see that's the red color. So not too bad. Now, the inside spool itself looks like it's just like a little hard cardboard, but I really don't care about that. Let me just look at some other colors here. Now, it is 100% cotton. So if you can see that here. So this one is not, I'm sorry. This one, hold on a second. Let me just double check this. I'm sorry, this one is polyester. It's not cotton, it's polyester. Okay, the Temu one is polyester, 100% polyester. So I wanted to kind of compare this with the one that I brought from Amazon. And this one is New Brother Reed Quilting and Embroidery thread. These come in the spools. These only come 10 in a pack. Now, these are quilting cotton, if I remember right. Let me just make sure. Yes, this one is cotton. So it's not a direct comparison, but you know, I just wanted to see how much can you get for your money. So on this one, I purchased it off of Amazon, and for this one, it was $19.99 for 10 pieces. And each spool holds about 600 meters, so about 660 yards, more or less. It's an approximate. So these are 10 pieces. So each one of these are like $1.99 each. So it does have the hard plastic as the spool, so they were a little bit more professionally made than these from Temu, but quite honestly, I mean, you're getting more thread here than you are here, but you know, it's really going to come down to when I actually go to use it, is it really worth it or not? This polyester thread looks pretty good just by me looking at it. It doesn't look too bad. This is the quilting cotton, so of course the cotton, you know, if you're a quilter, you want that quilting cotton to come in. I did just get like white and black because I wanted to kind of just use it like on a serger. But this is, you know, really, really good, I think, in terms of getting the actual item. Quality-wise, doesn't look too bad. But again, the test will be when I actually go to sew something together. But right offhand, really not too bad. I would just be a little careful on when you're buying your threads from Temu, because you want to make sure that you're getting a quality thread for the project that you're making. So it really depends on what you're doing, and do you really need that quality thread? If you're just making, let's say, something with a construction stitch, maybe the thread is not too bad, maybe it is. It depends what you're using it for. If you're, let's say, a bag maker and you're making a bag and you're using that construction stitch, but you know you're going to be putting some pretty heavy stuff in that bag, you're going to want to invest in a pretty quality cotton thread, because you want that seam to really hold, because as you put that pressure on that seam, you don't want it to pop. So you do want a quality thread in that situation. But if it's something that maybe does not need to be so strong, you know, then you're going to want to check something. So again, you know, if I'm doing, let's say, a bag, I probably will not use cotton thread unless I'm doing a quilting design on it and then attaching it, but I would try not to put too much weight on it. I would use a polyester, because these synthetic type threads have more strength than a natural type of thread such as a cotton. Those would probably break more evenly. So it really depends. What project are you doing? What are you going to be using this for? So look at the project, figure out what you're doing first, then you can decide whether or not you can go with a cheaper type of thread versus a more expensive type of thread. You can look at the different colors and styles that they have, and you can kind of test it out for yourself to see, does it really work? So be mindful for when you are doing projects, you know, don't just go out and start buying things. Have something in mind that you want to do with the specific product that you're buying, and then you can work towards that. So again, if it's something that is requiring a real high quality type thread, something that needs a lot of strength, then you're going to want to invest in some type of a polyester type of thread that will have that strength that you need. If it's something like for quilting, though, you want the nice cotton threads on there, that's something that, you know, then maybe you may be able to find something a little bit better. But if you want it to work well with your machine, you know, I can't tell you that this works well on my machine because I haven't tried it yet, but I'll certainly let you guys know. If you're in my Facebook group, I'll go ahead and post it once I do that. So just stay tuned and I'll let you know what that comes out to be. But price point, I can tell you, this actually was a pretty good deal. Again, this here, $8.40 for 12 pieces, comes out to about 7 cents each, versus the Brother Reed, $19.99 on Amazon. There's 10 spools in there, and they're giving me 660 yards versus about 1,000 yards on this. So big difference between the two, but is this worth it? It really depends on your project. You have to decide which one you need for the project that you are making. So don't go too crazy on price points on thread, because again, you need to check your project. You don't want your project to fall apart because you decided to use a cheaper thread that then didn't work out very well. So that's something that you can consider when you are doing this. So let's kind of move on. I see some people chatting away in there. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I think a lot of people are really, you know, if you got a channel out there, put it in the chat. You know, I want everyone to just kind of interact and help each other out. You know, definitely let each other know what you're into. What are you working on? What are your projects? You know, we want to know all of that stuff. And if you want to put it in our Facebook group, you can do that as well. GiftsHQ USA. Now, just let us know what projects you're working on. Make pictures of them so we can share them on to other people, because this is going to help you grow as well. Awesome. Okay, I've got another bunch of things to show you, but now we're going to switch over to Hobby Lobby. And if you guys haven't had a chance to head over to Hobby Lobby this week, they had some kind of a huge deep discount type sale. Now, I didn't really get to go as, you know, when I wanted to. So a lot of the things were out by the time I got there, which was kind of a shame. But if you made it to Hobby Lobby this week, you can get things like this self-healing mat. This is the mat that I use all the time to do my cutting on. They had these really big mats on sale for like $7, and I missed it. So I was a little mad at that. But, you know, maybe I'll find it in another Hobby Lobby. I just don't have the time to get there right now. But I was able to get quite a few things, and I'll share those with you. So let me just grab that bag. Now, let's talk rulers, because I know as sewing, if you're into sewing and quilting, you probably have a stash of rulers, and they can get quite pricey. So there's a specific brands that are all over the place. They have Omni Guard, they have Missouri Star has their own set of brands of rulers and things that you can get. But I particularly like the Omni Guard. It's just something, this is what I started off with, and this is what I use a lot. Now, this particular one, I can tell you it's 12.5 inches by 12.5 inches. Pretty big size, right? However, let me just put this down here. I'm going to tell you what the price differences are. So the exact same ruler, 12.5 by 12.5, the same brand, Omni Guard. On Amazon, I found it today for $13.72. I paid $5.24 at Hobby Lobby. So definitely a great deal. You know, so if you're heading over to Hobby Lobby, take a look at the rulers, because they have a whole stack of them on sale of all different sizes. And I'm going to share a couple more that I got. So this is another one. See if I can grab this one out. So this one is a 6-inch by 12-inch, which is a pretty handy size for what I use. Again, Omni Guard, 6 by 12-inch on Amazon, $13.79. I got it for $4.74. Awesome deal on that one too. And you can see, I mean, these are really great rulers. When I do a lot of cutting, I can tell you that I'm left-handed. So it makes it a little difficult for me to do the cutting sometimes, because I sometimes have to do things the opposite way for it to turn out. And that's with a lot of the crafts, right? So it's just with cutting, especially with knitting and crocheting, everything is like the opposite. So the patterns that are out there, a lot of them are written for right-handed people, but I'm left-handed, so everything to me is backwards. So it's kind of a little weird. But what I can do is sometimes when I'm doing my cutting, what I like to do is just line up my ruler with where I'm going to cut. And if let's say I wanted to cut, you know, if I don't want to cut with my right hand, then I would just bump up the ruler to wherever the cut needs to be. And I would have the two rulers together, and the two rulers together will define exactly where the cut needs to be. So then I can remove one of the rulers, and then I'm able to use my left hand to do the cutting, and it comes out right on the line that I want. So that's just something that, you know, you can think of when you're looking at rulers. Sometimes bumping up the rulers together makes it a great way for you to cut right on the line, whether you are left-handed, right-handed. So that's a, you know, it's a great way. So either way, left-handed or right-handed people can use this method, and it really helps. So that's something I wanted to share with you. These are two rulers that I got. I got a couple more. This is a smaller ruler. This one is 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches. And I already have this ruler, but I use it so much that I saw it and I said, let me just snag another one, because this is a great size for me to do a lot of the quilting projects. So fussy cutting, you know, all kinds of things. Great size for me to work with. Doesn't take up a lot of space either. Now, this particular one is 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches. On Amazon, they have it for $8.89. I was able to snag it for $3.24. So great deal again at Hobby Lobby. If you haven't gone out there, this is a really good sale that they are having. So you may want to check that out. Then I kind of got some other, these are like specialty type. I don't know if I would really call them rulers, but these are what they call circle cuts. And it's called the Easy Circle Cut, and it helps you make circles. And it's a kind of a specialty type ruler here. And you can see here. Now, this particular specialty ruler costs $21.44 on Amazon. I snagged it for $3.74. So really, really great deal on these. It really helps me when I'm trying to do some kind of maybe applique that I want to do. You know, you got that nice circle in all different sizes. It goes, the circles go all the way up to 10 inches. So really nice. And the smallest one here is 2 inches. So it's a really nice ruler to work with the different sizes. So I like that a lot. So I went ahead and got that one. And then for you quilters out there, they have the Get Squared ruler. And this one on Amazon, again, $7.23. I got it in Hobby Lobby for $3.74. The regular price in Hobby Lobby on this particular one was $14.99. So, you know, pretty big deal in terms of price points. It's a nice ruler. It gives you an inner square of about 4.5 inches. And then the outer square is 8.5 inches. So you kind of get two things that you can do on here. And if you're into doing a lot of quilting or fussy cutting or things like that, this is a nice ruler to have. Makes things a lot easier. So great ruler again. Now there are a bunch of other things that I got at Hobby Lobby. They had a ton of different things that we kind of talked about a few weeks ago. Things like snaps, all these little trinkets, they were all on sale. 74 cents, 24 cents, 17 cents. I mean, it was just crazy. They had tons of that stuff. But you got to kind of think about it. Should you buy it in bulk or should you buy it in these little 2-packs that they were selling? And that all depends on you, what projects you're doing. Are you a seller? Are you going to sell these items so you need these massive amounts of it so you can get a better deal? That really depends. If you're just doing onesie twosies and gifting things out, then you really don't need to buy in bulk. So that would be a great deal for you. So once again, it really depends on what you're planning to do. So before you go out and spend money into all of these big bulk purchases, you know, have in mind what you want to do and what you're going to be using it for. That way you don't spend too much money and, you know, wasting time, wasting money on, now you're going to waste space in your craft room where, you know, you're not sure where you're going to put all this stuff. So you definitely want to make sure that you use it and be mindful of what you're purchasing. So those are some of the main price comparisons that I had to show you. I've got a couple other things that I thought were some pretty neat items, and I'll just show those to you briefly here. Let's see if I can grab them here. So just a couple of things that I got on Temu. I thought these were pretty neat items, and let me just see if I can check the price. So these are folding scissors. It was only 88 cents. So I thought, hey, that's kind of nice if you're traveling. You know, it comes in a cute little case. So I pulled it out here. And this is what it looks like all folded up. So as you can see here, all you got to do is open it up, or slide them out actually. And you've got your scissors. So pretty neat. You know, if you're traveling, not too bad for 88 cents. I said, you know, that's something that, you know, I could use if I'm traveling, and it's only 88 cents. Not the best quality scissors, but, you know, if you want something that you can travel with, where you can kind of fold it and you won't, you know, hurt anybody with it, you know, I think this is nice for just like little travels here and there. So I did purchase that. I also got some embroidery scissors. And this one does have a really pretty little birdie type design on it. So I thought that was really cute. And the embroidery scissors was only $2.48. So it's just something small. Again, travel wise, you know, as you're traveling to different craft shows and things like that, maybe you have a retreat coming up, you don't want to really carry your big bulky type of supplies. So these are some really quick little supplies that really don't cost too much, and you can just use that for your traveling. So I thought that that was pretty neat. A couple other things that I got. I did get a protective cloth for ironing. Let's see. This was only 69 cents. Try to open this up for you. It's kind of just like a little mesh, and you just put this on top of something that you're ironing. It's just to protect it. You know, it's not a big thing. If you have some mesh, you could make this yourself. All you do is get the mesh and then do some binding all the way across. I just wanted something that was really quick, and I didn't have much time to just make one. So 69 cents really is not bad of a deal for that. So those are some quick little things. I did get a few others. Let me see if we have some time. I think we still have some time. If I can grab them, give me a second. Some of the waffle blankets. You've seen some of the blankets that I've shared before. And let me just see here. I can get this open. While I'm trying to get this open, you guys will keep chatting away. Okay, Donna says, one thing that I desperately need is a good sewing crafting style of chair. I need good back support and canisters. I am 74 years old and my old office chairs leave my back hurting slightly. I would splurge on that a little bit, Donna. Because you always want to make sure that you're comfortable and that, you know, your back doesn't hurt, because that could really lead to things that you're not going to want to sew or anything, because it's really going to bother you. But you can check out. I know Hobby Lobby has things there. I've never really seen like a sewing chair so much. So you may want to check out probably some other types of sites. I have seen the other ones that, you know, they're nice, they're a little pricey, but it just might be worth it, you know? Let's see. Crafting with Robin says, how many of us reserved the countdown to Christmas box? Yes, I did. I did too. I'm glad you mentioned that. I almost forgot about that. So last year, During the Christmas time, I did share with you the Missouri Star Christmas box. And I posted weekly all the items after it was already the day after they opened them up. I wanted to share with you guys because I was really excited about that box. And I was really happy with a lot of the stuff that came in the box. And I thought they were really nice little supplies that you could use. And they were great projects. So I went ahead and bought that last year and shared that with you guys. And now this year, I got it again. So I did reserve my box. And they were having their pre-sale. And you were able to go ahead and get it down now. So I went ahead and purchased mine. I think they shipped them out in October. But they really asked for people not to post what's inside just yet, because you really want to follow that, every day you open the new item. So I waited until a week after the date was to be able to show them with you, only for respect out of that. But I really loved all of the items that were in that box. And I still use so many of them, including this little calendar that you guys see all the time. So I thought it was really neat. I did reserve my box. Not sure if you guys did too, but we're going to do something towards the end of the year to share those items and talk about how we can use some of those supplies. We'll definitely do it after the date that they've already opened it up for. But definitely a lot of fun on those. So Judy says she splurged. Oh, Jackie says she did too. Awesome. They're a lot of fun. I really love that box. It was pretty heavy. I mean, they're pricey, yes, but I thought the quality of the items that you got and the fact that I was able to make so many different projects out of those, I thought it was really worth it. So that's kind of like my little Christmas present gift to me. Alrighty. So getting back to the blankets. So I bought, this is the waffle blanket from Temu. Not too bad. Quality, it's not bad. It's pretty soft. The stitching on it isn't horrible. But I could see myself embroidering something on these. And I've got a friend of mine, she's a coworker of mine, and she's going to be a grandma for the first time. So I'm excited for her. And I got a bunch of little things that I've been doing for her, and I'm going to go and give her a little basket so she can have for her granddaughter because it is a girl. So I'm excited about that for her. All right, so this little blanket, where did I have the price on these? I got it for $5.78. So not too bad. Pretty happy with it. And it'll be fun to embroider something really nice on it. I can add some more embellishments on it if I wanted to. But pretty good on the price on that. So not too bad. So, I mean, the point of the whole thing on these is I just want you guys to really just keep in mind what project you're making, whether you're going to be selling this or if this is going to be a gift. When you're going out to make these purchases, really look at what is required of your project. Am I doing a construction seam? Does it really need to be a quality type of fabric or thread? These are the types of things that you're going to need in the project versus what you're going to want on the project, right? So big difference between the needs and the wants. So you want to take a look at that. You want to take a look at the quality versus the price, right? So that makes a difference in what you are doing. Now, there's some things you'll want to splurge on. If you really want this specific fabric or this type of thread, then you can certainly do that. But always be mindful to use the coupons that are out there. Joann's has a bunch of coupons. Michael's always has a bunch of coupons. Hobby Lobby doesn't do coupons, but they do have really good sales and they have deep discounts, as I just showed you guys today. I have many more stuff to show you, but I know we're out of time, so I'm going to be mindful for that for you guys. I do have to get back to the hospital, but thank you guys all for joining so much. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out. And I hope you guys have a lot of fun and interact with each other. And please share your projects on Facebook. I really love to see it, especially now when I'm not able to be in my craft room as much as I'd like. But I do like to check things out, see what's going on, check out all the trends. And as soon as I can get back in here, I'm definitely going to do a sew along with you guys. That's something that I've really been wanting to do. I just can't do it right now. But definitely we'll be doing something, and I have a bunch of things planned for us. So hopefully things will get better and I'll be able to get back in here and we can do much more things together. But thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye everyone.